Somebody needs to get YK Osiris a copy of Stop Simpin' so he can quench that deep down body thirst for women. Now available in paperback and Kindle, Stop Simpin' in Cyberspace. Learn how to avoid predatory females like Instagram models and e-girls in their virtual con games with Stop Simpin' in Cyberspace. Get your copy of Stop Simpin' in Cyberspace in paperback and Kindle today. Rapper YK Osiris is being accused of assault for putting his hands on adult film star Sukihana. Now, in an incident that took place 2 weeks ago at the Crew League in Atlanta, adult film star Sukihana was participating in a panel, and as she was addressing guests at the panel, YK Osiris came up from behind her and then began rubbing her shoulders. Now, Sukihana did not invite YK Osiris to put any hands on her, and she expressed discomfort as related to him touching her, and as YK Osiris got a reaction out of Sukihana, he then escalated his behavior to lean in for a kiss, which Sukihana pushed her face away, and then as he went to try to kiss her again, she then let out a scream. Now, in the aftermath of making these gestures on Sukihana, YK Osiris tried to laugh things off. However, his actions were not funny at all. Now, in this era of Me Too, you would think YK Osiris would have thought critically about his actions, because in this era of Me Too, a simple allegation of sexual assault can basically end a entertainer's career like his, or even worse, lead to an individual like YK Osiris possibly losing his freedom, because it was extremely foolish for YK Osiris to put his hands on Sukihana at a panel that was being video recorded, because as this video was being recorded, it could have possibly been used as evidence as related to an allegation of sexual assault that could have led to YK Osiris basically being arrested. And there would be no way for him to fight such a charge, because he basically is being shown on video participating in this assault, because an assault is where you go out here and put hands on an individual who has not done anything to you. Now, when I take a critical examination of YK Osiris's actions, they clearly show me a young, thirsty male, like I talk about in my book, Stop Simpin', Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance. And with many simps, many of these men really have poor social skills, and they have poor social skills because they have been raised in extremely dysfunctional households, like ones raised by single mothers, or homes with beta male fathers who do not teach their sons proper male life skills or male survival skills, like knowing how to engage a woman in a social situation. Because it is extremely inappropriate for a man to walk behind a woman and put his hands on that woman, if that in any case, because it is extremely disrespectful to violate that woman's personal space by going out here and putting hands on her. Unfortunately, with many beta males who are out here, and many simps, they see a woman that they like, and they think that they have a right to put hands on that woman to express their affection. But this effort to try to express affection, it basically is a complete failure, because it shows that this male really doesn't understand how to socially interact with a woman. 1, 2, doesn't understand how to respect a person's personal space, and 3, shows how this person will go to extreme lengths to violate a person's boundaries. Now, a socially awkward simp like a YK Osiris, they will believe that this type of action will get them a reaction, and they think that any reaction is positive. I go in depth on this in my book, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, many simps believe any reaction from a woman is positive, and that is because many simps don't know how to read nonverbal social cues like body language, like in the case of Sukihana, as related to her expressions. Her reactions were not positive. No, her reactions were extremely negative because her reactions were that she did not want to be touched, and she did not want to be touched by a complete stranger. Moreover, she did not want a complete stranger putting any sort of kiss on her because that was just, again, inappropriate for YK Osiris to participate in. Now, as related to YK Osiris, he probably thought that it was okay for him to violate Sukihana's boundaries because he was one of these, because he saw that she was an adult film star, and with her being an adult film star, he thought, oh, this woman is somebody who I see in the fantasy material I participate, I watch it, and because I'm watching this woman in a fantasy, I can go out here and treat her like a sex object. And that is another mistake that many simps make, because many simps, again, are out here extremely detached as related to themselves, as related to relationships with women and their own sexuality. So they believe that if they see a celebrity like a Sukihana or an adult entertainer, that person doesn't have any rights to their personal space, and they don't have a right to any sort of boundaries as related to how they're treated in real life. So YK Osiris thought, oh, this person is an adult film star, so they are a sexual object, and it's right for them to go out here and touch them. But again, him going in the middle of a panel to touch this woman basically showed how YK Osiris really didn't understand the concept of boundaries, and he didn't even understand the whole concept of respecting someone's space. Because I believe YK Osiris, as he was approaching Sukihana, was in the rose-colored reality that many simps are in, and all he was caught up was in his lust for his getting the attention of Sukihana. And as he looked to get the attention of Sukihana, he wound up crossing the line as related to a social interaction, and he turned a social interaction into an assault, because again, when he put hands to massage the shoulders of Sukihana, that was an assault on her person, and the kiss he was trying to plant on her lips was basically a battery, because this was an unwanted and unwarranted advance on her, and it just basically showed again how YK Osiris really was not thinking critically about more important things like his dignity, his self-respect, his self-worth, or his freedom. Because a lot of simps, when they get really thirsty, they get so caught up in their feelings about getting the attention of a woman that they don't think about more important things like their dignity, their self-respect, their self-worth, and their freedom. It's all about making that gesture and pulling that stunt to get attention from that woman. It's all about them trying to get a reaction from that woman. But a lot of times when you go out here and pull these kind of stunts, a lot of these guys basically wind up making themselves look worse, not only to the woman that they're trying to make the advance on, but they also wind up making themselves look worse to other women around them, because after this guy gets rejected by this adult film star Sukihana, every other woman is going to know not to trust a YK Osiris because he doesn't respect the personal space of a woman. Moreover, most of those women are going to know that YK Osiris is a very impulsive individual, and that means that he's someone who they can't trust in an intimate situation, and he also shows that he just lacks any sort of social decorum, because there is a time and a place to go out here and approach a woman you're interested in. Because any smart man understands that, okay, if he's interested in a woman and she's in the middle of doing business like a panel, this is not the place to go out here and make a move on a woman because she's in the middle of transacting business. No, a smart man is going to wait until the panel is over and go out here and approach who he wants to and try to find a private moment with them. They are not going to go out here and try to make a moment in public where they basically embarrass themselves, because a guy who goes out here and puts hands on a woman in a public setting, trying to get attention, basically shows all people that he has no discipline, no self-control, and is somebody who is cannot be trusted, and again, hurts his own image. So when I was looking at YK Osiris's actions, again, these are the actions of an individual who again shows that he doesn't know how to socialize as a man, and shows that he has, again, no real understanding of how to approach a woman, because approaching an adult film star at a panel is not something a man of character even does. No, a man of character would not even be anywhere near a Sukihana, who is known for her alleged oral sexual copulation skills. No man is going to want to even be around that kind of woman. Unfortunately, many simps like a YK Osiris are so caught up in their lust to try to get the attention of any woman that they never look at the content of that woman's character. No, all they're thinking about is the fantasies that they want to have with this woman, and they think that they're going to make a big first impression on her by pulling some big stunt, but you're not really making any impression on her except that you're a weirdo, because again, only a weirdo is going to go out here and walk behind a woman to get her attention by trying to massage her shoulders. Only a weirdo is going to go out here and put a kiss on a woman as she's in the middle of engaging a panel, because this is a guy who's basically living in his own world as I see it, and he doesn't see how his behavior is reflecting on the rest of the world, or how he's basically embarrassing himself by behaving in a weird fashion. Because again, it is weird for a dude in the middle of a panel to go out here and put hands on a woman. That's basically, again, him actively participating in what possibly could be considered a sex crime. And in the aftermath of this embarrassing incident, YK Osiris apologized for his actions, but the whole thing is he wound up tarnishing his image and his reputation, all trying to get the attention of an adult film star, and this is the kind of behavior that leaves simps at the bottom of the social marketplace, because many simps out here, they value getting the attention of a woman more than, again, their intangibles like their dignity, their self-respect, and their self-worth. And because they value the attention of a woman, they participate in embarrassing behavior like this, thinking it's going to get them somewhere, but in actuality, it sets them far back, because you not only, again, leave a negative impression on the woman you're trying to get the attention of, but you alienate most of the other women out here who look at a guy like this as a creeper, because only a creeper is going to be out here putting hands on a woman he don't know. Only a creeper does stuff like this and tries to get kisses. No, that's what creepers and weirdos do. Most critical thinking men, and again, men are raised to understand what the written and unwritten social rules of engagement are, and they know that with the unwritten and written social rules of engagement are that if a woman is at business, you wait for her to finish her business, and then if she can give you a minute, you then go out here and say what you're going to say. And if she says no, you then charge her to the game and move on. That's what a man does. But when you're dealing with males like this who are caught up in their lust, they show that they have not received any sort of training from other men on how to carry and conduct themselves as a man. And when I look at YK Osiris, he's one of those guys who possibly could be on the road to becoming a man in crisis, like I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis, because The behaviors he participated in were extremely antisocial because a beta male is the only type of guy who will participate in this kind of behavior, and he'll participate in this kind of behavior in a place that I call the secret world, where they feel safe about expressing their natural masculinity and natural sexuality, and they don't understand that their behavior is antisocial. A lot of these guys, they do these behaviors because they have no man to give them any sort of guidance on how to carry and conduct themselves with women. And that's what I see happening with YK Osiris as related to that viral video. An individual who did not know how to carry and conduct himself in a social situation. And because he didn't know how to carry himself, he basically embarrassed himself and made himself look really bad, because again, a man does not engage like this. No, this in this era of Me Too could have possibly turned into a situation where he would have been arrested and basically would have been charged and tried and convicted. And instead of him being able to try to make an advance on Sukihana, he would be getting advances made on him by Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles inside of the penitentiary, as they were looking to turn his tight end into a wide receiver, trading him for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, peppermint balls, packets of Crystal Light, packets of snack pack pudding, 6-pack Oreo cookies, Go-Gurt yogurt, off-brand lemon cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand chocolate chip cookies. That could have been YK Osiris's fate, and instead of us listening to him in the entertainment industry, he would be singing a lot of high notes inside of the prison shower. Again, that's what happens when you are too thirsty. And again, this is why you need to quench that deep down body thirst by picking up a copy of Stop Simpin'. And that's what YK Osiris needs to go out here and read before he winds up getting himself in a situation where he winds up getting on the road to headed towards the penitentiary. Because again, in this era of Me Too, an allegation can get a guy jammed up, and this viral video could basically lead to the end of YK Osiris's career. Yes, a lot of people would be talking about him, but the whole thing is, they're not talking about him in a positive light because he's simping for an adult film star, and again, showing how little self-esteem he has because he's going for one of these women at the bottom of the social marketplace, and again, going out here showing how little he values his own intangibles. Again, an embarrassment as related to a man. This is what makes YK Osiris a simp who is on the road to becoming a man in crisis. Now, if you want to learn how to avoid winding up in situations like YK Osiris and quench that deep down body thirst that simps have, you can pick up my book, Stop Simpin', Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Stop Simpin' on other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to learn more about what leads to men like YK Osiris becoming men on the road to becoming men in crisis, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available for the first time in paperback. Stop Simping in the Workplace. Men, learn what you need to know in order to protect your job from workplace predators with Stop Simping in the Workplace. Available in paperback at online booksellers everywhere.
Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.